Next up, we have 14th place, Jose Norono playing the based purple Eraserhead deck. Now, there's only, I think, one card different from Bromley's. Christopher Bromley had Trashik in the main, and Jose has it in the sideboard. They are exactly one card different, so kind of interesting. Probably a last-minute decision. It would be interesting to see if they, like, you know, debated on that choice at the last minute, because I do know that in game one, or in the round one for top cuts, Bromley has a Trashik Cape in hand, and he either reviews it or he discards it to go get an erase or something like that. And it's one of the best deadlock abilities that he has in the deck. And because he got rid of it, Kevin Broberg was able to build a ton of foundations and go straight into deadlock. So this is a card that could have been super relevant. He even had it in the deck and then still made the executive decision to believe that Broberg was going to respect deadlock a bit more. So very interesting stuff. Wondering if Jose would also agree to mainboard it after, you know, playing it in practice at the tournament. So very, very interesting. But it is a 51 card deck instead of 52. It still has the 4 Grenadier Bracers. We're, of course, on 4 Erase. One of Howitzer Impact because it has a sick high block, and a lot of our synergies are with Destroying Foundations because Fierce Whirlwind is here. This allows us to basically ready half of our stage. It allows us to ramp up Grenadier Bracers to a massive number. It has EX to be a finishing move with Grenadier Bracers. Just a really, really cool combo. Fearful Uppercut is a one-of for the defensive tech piece, but also a little bit of a momentum outlet. None of our other attacks besides Fierce Whirlwind have a momentum outlet, and that's for speed, so this is for damage. Binding Cloth Capture is a very sick card that, you know, deletes an opponent's defensive resource. It just seals a rival foundation. So this deck looks like it is high difficulty, but Binding Cloth Capture is a 3 difficulty when you need it to be, and Howitzer Impact is supposed to be a 4 difficulty. And then, of course, Twisting Azure Inferno, even though it's a 4 difficulty, gives you +1 to your checks once you get it ramped up. So even with the high difficulty cards like Instant Shining Flash, Twisting Azure, Binding Cloth, these are all things. Almost everything about this deck actually is about extra resource economy. You know, everything about this attack lineup says, I'm going to play the world's longest string at you. So that is super duper interesting. It makes me wonder if Eraserhead had access to Alleyway Ambush, if this couldn't be like Shades of the Toga deck, you know, where you can have this really powerful control style character, but then also have these insanely long strings where you're putting stats on everything because of cards like Grenadier Bracers with Brute Strength and Eraserhead's bonus speed. You're just getting tons and tons of stats. Very, very cool concept. The 3 Excited for Blood. We like to draw cards. Extending our health total can be really important. Summon with Style extends our resource count, just like pretty much all of our attack lineup. Brute Strength is a 4 of in this deck because we absolutely have to have Grenadier Bracers getting turned on. Our health is a resource that we can turn into damage, so very cool. You know, +2 speed, +2 damage just from one foundation alone can be super strong. 1 copy of Apathetic. Everyone complains that this card never gets played. Here it is as a one-of. It's a 4 check. It's slow. It gets sniped by so many things, but I'm glad to see it. I think this is a stronger card than people want to admit. One of Snack Time is really interesting here. We're already discarding cards to, you know, get our erase back when we have to erase. So maybe we were expecting to erase a lot on offense. The deck's very, very small at 51 cards, so not a lot of room for, you know, offensive tech pieces. 3 copies of Struggling with Studies to protect our really important stuff like Brute Strength, like Excited for Blood. 3 copies of Forcing Surrender. You know, this helps us get our erase that we block with back into the discard pile, similar to Fruits of Our Labors, so pretty interesting interaction there, but also hates on Tokoyami. That could have been a meta read as well. 1 of Mediator. This is 3 too few in my opinion, but again, 51 card deck. We had to make some concessions. We already hate on speed enough So we were really just saying that we're going to have enough cards to block with, I guess. This deck is a deck that is trying to end the game early. This is not a go to deadlock all the time sort of a deck. The deadlock threats are, you know, mostly in the sideboard, just a snack time for more card draw. Not the void versions that we've seen trying to drag the game out. And that is 4 surviving the final and 4 tight lip. So -1 speed, +1 damage respectively. Just very, very solid 0 diffs. Tight lip often overperforms. So I guess you could call this the aggro version of Eraserhead. This is a string-based, you know, overwhelming, lots of output style of deck. And I was really sad that we didn't get to see it pop off on stream, because when you see this deck play 3 or 4 attacks, commit basically nothing because of stuff like Instant Shining Flash, because of stuff like Azure Inferno, you know, and it starts to get to the deep extension where maybe it checks bad once or twice, but Howitzer Impact is still only 4 difficulty, and it's a massive bomb in this deck. And then the Fierce Whirlwind comes in and just blows up the whole stage, and it's just way too fast. And, you know, you can see like Fierce Whirlwind get to be 11-12 speed for like 16 damage pretty easily. And it's a thing of beauty, really, to watch. So was really disappointed that we didn't get to see it pop off when Bromley played it on stream. You know, I was disappointed for my UnFunStuff pals to not go super deep in this format, but you know, you got to believe at any tournament, Jose Norono can take any deck he wants and he can make top cuts with it. So I very much expect to see him in the future at HLC events, and always a beacon of joy to be around. So congratulations on your 14th place finish. Congratulations on winning Webcam Nationals. What else can be said about Jose that hasn't been said already? Well, I guess that it's on site.